Donato's just didn't add bacon to their pizzas. They added bacon to their bacon. Canadian bacon and hardwood smoked bacon. Or Canadian bacon and Chipotle seasoned bacon. Get $2 off a large bacon duo or any large pizza. Use promo code 2. Donato's. Every piece is important.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spurs Up Show, the best Gamecocks podcast on the internet. Today is Tuesday, December the 15th, 2020. On today's show, I'll start by giving you guys my takeaway. Shane Beamer making his rounds, going on the local Columbia radio market. I'll give you guys my takeaways to all of his comments he made on Monday afternoon, things I liked, things I'm really excited for. Also, of course, he was asked the question about who are going to be the Gamecocks offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and filling out his staff as a whole. So I figured, why not, guys? I'm going to dive into it. I'm going to give you guys my top candidates for Gamecocks' new OC and DC, how I think the candidates stack up, who I think should get the job as South Carolina continues on this journey to find its next offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and fill its first staff under new head coach Shane Beamer. Also, we're talking gambling a day early here. Talking gambling on a Tuesday. SEC gambling picks, guys. 3-2 last week, 33-32 overall. I will break down what is a full slate of games, including the SEC championship between Alabama and Florida. Also, some news and notes to get into as well, guys. And it's all brought to you by our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. Guys, Upstate Movers Group, superior moving service. They bring care and attention other companies can't offer because they're just too busy maintaining trucks and profiting off of them instead of focusing on service. Guys, service is what separates Upstate Movers Group from the competition. They're not a trucking company. They are a moving services company, and they're also employee-owned co-op. The movers are paid twice the industry average, and everyone on the crew is just as invested in the success of the project as you are. They have dedicated professional crew members, and they also offer black glove service, guys. They offer end-to-end packing services, custom crating and packaging for special items, and cleaning services as well. They are founded by Greenville natives also, guys, and University of South Carolina alumni. So a Gamecock-owned small business. They also offer 20 years of project management moving experience, and they can offer logistics and solutions that traditional moving companies simply do not have the skills for. Guys, whether you're in the upstate or across the state of South Carolina, if you have any moving needs this holiday season, because again, we all know with moving how much of a pain and a process it can be. You lose things, you break things. You simply don't want to have to deal with the hassle. Let my friends over at Upstate Movers Group take care of you. You can find them on social media if you want to check them out. They're at Upstate Movers Group. But of course, for more information, go to their website, upstatemoversgroup.com. That is upstatemoversgroup.com. Guys, the show is also brought to you by our friends over at Yardware. Yardware, which, by the way, is another Gamecock-owned small business. Gamecocks helping Gamecocks here on the Spurs Up Show. It's a veteran-owned and operating company licensed by the University of South Carolina, selling must-have Carolina yard and wall signs. Guys, these signs are made out of 12-gauge laser-cut steel, and they come in both garnet and black. Christmas is a little bit over a week away, guys, but either way, get these for that Gamecock fan in your life. This is the perfect gift. The quality, the detail is really what sticks out with these things. But guys, you can put it anywhere. Your yard, your studio, your office, your man cave, your living room, your dining room, whatever. It's a fantastic piece. And again, a must-have piece for any Gamecock fan. Again, you can order yours today at yardwaresigns.com. Also, be sure to check them out at Yardware Signs. But again, get your sign today, yardwaresigns.com to order today. Yardwaresigns.com. That is yardwaresigns.com. Let's get it. Folks, 2020 strikes again. It's crazy. The second I get on the airwaves, South Carolina basketball announces they have to postpone this weekend's rivalry game against the Clemson Tigers due to COVID-related issues. Obviously, we know South Carolina's had to postpone or cancel 2 games. Now, it is official here on a Monday afternoon as I talk to you guys here on a Tuesday. The game against Clemson, the basketball game slated for this Saturday at CLA, has been postponed. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Happy Tuesday. Again, literally as I just clicked the record button, that popped up on my Twitter timeline. And again, 2020 just strikes again. But again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're all doing well, your health, everything else. You're all good. If you're tuned in, I assume you're doing well. We're all doing good here in the middle of this week. Christmas creeping right along, creeping up on us. We've got, 10 days, literally 10 days. So if you're still doing your Christmas shopping, I know my parents are all running around. I'm one of 5 kids. So my parents, they go all out. They go crazy for it. And you can imagine buying gifts for 5 kids or whatever. Obviously a little bit different now because we're all grown, but you can imagine the stresses the holidays can bring in that situation. I'm sure a lot of you are in that similar boat. But guys, thank you so much again for tuning in. Got a lot to get into here on a Tuesday. And obviously with the basketball stuff, the way it's going, it's made things very interesting because we were supposed to have a game last night, but we did not because 2020 is what it is and COVID is what it is and whatever. Hopefully everything will get better soon. 2021 will get back to normal, but I will keep you guys updated on what I hear as far as that game possibly being rescheduled. But yeah, literally crazy. As soon as I click the record button, that pops up. And I don't know. I guess we kind of get an early start on our Christmas vacation, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. But guys, thank you so much again for tuning in. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Got a lot to get into here on the Spurs Up show here on Tuesday. I want to start with Shane Beamer. Obviously, that's where all the conversation is right now. Guys, people are asking me left and right every single day, Chris, who's the new coordinator? Who's the new coordinator? Shane Beamer going on the local Columbia radio on 107.5 The Game, which those guys do a fantastic job. And he gave a little insight to that question and many, many more. I just wanted to kind of go over some of the comments, guys, in case you were unable to tune in or what have you. Wanted to go over some main things he said, some big takeaways for me. And I will say this, first things first, Shane Beamer is a guy I think that is going to crush every piece of media availability, every press conference. He is definitely saying all the right things right now, and he is winning South Carolina fans over, no doubt about that. The first question will come back to, Chris, what's the deal with the coordinators? What's the deal with the coaching staff? When are we going to find out when these people are hired? So Beamer actually said a lot of coaches he's pursuing to be his coordinators are still coaching games right now, which that's kind of a given. That's a no-brainer, which makes it a lot harder, obviously, to make the hire. He said he feels good about where they are, and the amount of interest is beyond even what he expected. Guys, he actually said that he's had coordinators from every single Power 5 conference reach out to him and show interest. So, again, that's why I say to you guys, I'm going to try to do my best today, obviously, here in a little bit, but when you guys ask me, who's it going to be? I'm like, it could literally be anyone. Like, there are so many coordinators in college football. There are so many guys that it could be. And again, of course, I know we've all kind of got our short list and kind of have those ideas in our head of who we think it will be, but it sounds like there is a ton of interest in this job and a ton of people who want to come work and be a part of what Shane Beamer is building at South Carolina. Another thing he said, quote, a lot of people want to be in Columbia and know what South Carolina is about, and that is exciting. Shane Beamer is just a guy, you listen to him talk about South Carolina football, you get fired up. You get absolutely fired up. He did also mention a little bit of recruiting, talked about the communication between himself and recruits and commits. And basically he said, quote, I'm communicating with those guys exactly where we are with things. Said he stressed the current Gamecocks commits, the fact he's going to put together a premier coaching staff, which obviously, for a lot of these guys, again, these guys want to know, who am I going to be playing for? Who's going to be coaching me? My OC, my DC, my position coach. Who's it going to be? And I think that's good. Obviously, he's getting out on the trail and enforcing that message to these kids. One of my favorite things he said on Monday, Shane Beamer, quote, if you want to be a college football coach, you've got to be able to recruit and you've got to be able to develop. Oh, that is music to my ears, guys, because for the longest time, we all know the struggles with the last regime. We all know the struggles with the last staff, getting talent on campus, but not being able to develop it, not being able to take said talent and do anything with it. He also went on to stress you have to be able to do both to have success. Some guys will be better at one than others, but you have to be able to get talent and develop it. And Shane Beamer, I could not agree more, my friend. I just couldn't agree more. Unreal. That fires me up to hear that. Maybe finally we will have a staff in place that can not only recruit talent, but develop said talent. He also did mention recruiting yet again, said it's certainly become more national, but they're always going to start in the state of South Carolina. Stresses again, they want guys who are proud to be Gamecocks and represent their home state. Not surprised at all to hear Shane Beamer say that, especially after the comments from last week where he said, I want guys that are as proud to be a Gamecock as I am. So not surprised at all to hear him say that. He's also said, quote, I'm excited about the recruiting blueprint we'll have, but we'll always start right here at home. Went on to say as well, Beamer says the goal is to get better each and every single day and keep moving the program forward. Quote, we're trying to achieve greatness. Also said, quote, keep stacking good days on good days, and I know success will come. Also mentioned when asked, he was asked about the expectations and the difference in the expectations from his first time here and now. He said, quote, tell me what South Carolina doesn't have. Tell me why we can't have some those same expectations and then some. So obviously Shane's a guy who's trying to come in here and win big. And that was mainly, the comments I just gave you guys. That was really the gist of it. But it's hard not to listen. It's hard to listen to Shane Beamer and not get fired up and not get excited, not get pumped up. Again, I'm just reiterating some of the things that, I said last week. I'm reiterating some of the things that I said last week. But this is a guy who loves the University of South Carolina, who is going to bust it and do everything in his power to get the Gamecocks back to what they were under Steve Spurrier when he was there. And granted, will that happen? Will that type of run happen? It's yet to be seen. It's not likely. But it's a guy, he is going to find players, and he is going to build that culture of finding guys who come in, who want to be Gamecocks, who love being Gamecocks, and let the chips fall where they may from there. So I'm excited, obviously. And again, guys, I know the question marks revolve around who's going to be the strength coach, who's going to be the OC, who's going to be the DC. Well, I'm going to give you guys my top candidates. Let's move into that right now. I'm going to give you guys my top candidates for South Carolina's new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. I want to say on the record before I dive in these names, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, I'll be happy no matter who Shane Beamer brings in, because if Shane Beamer looks at a guy and says, this is my guy, this is who we're going to pay all this money to, this is who we're going to make our premier hire, I mean, I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with you, Coach. But I thought it'd be fun. Let's talk through some of these names. I'll give you guys my thoughts on each of the names. Really, this is who I feel like are on the short list of names right now. And I'll start with the offensive coordinators, and the one that I've talked about the entire process.
Visit Hellsberg.com for safe and easy ways to shop this holiday, like free shipping and returns, virtual shopping appointments, or buy online and pick up in store. And right now, get a free Microsoft Surface Go 2 with the purchase of $1,499 or more. You gift, you get. Limited time offer while supplies last. See online or in store for details.
Donato's just didn't add bacon to their pizzas. They added bacon to their bacon. It's Donato's new Bacon Duo pizzas. 2 pizzas, each with 2 kinds of bacon. Try the new Pepperoni Bacon Duo with pepperoni, Canadian bacon, and hardwood smoked bacon. And the Chipotle Bacon Duo with Canadian bacon and Chipotle seasoned bacon. Now get $2 off a large Bacon Duo or any large pizza. Use promo code 2. Donato's. Every piece is important.
The guy that I think Shane Beamer and company want is SMU head coach Garrett Riley. And if you hear that last name, Riley, yes, he is related, the brother of Lincoln Riley. I think this would be a home run, slam dunk hire for the Gamecocks. No questions asked. I think Garrett Riley would be an absolute home run. You think about obviously who his brother is and the offensive prowess that he has. I think you would see a high-flying offense scoring 40 points a game. Maybe not the first year, obviously, because you've got to get those athletes and those players in there. But I think Garrett Riley, as far as schematically, the mindset, the aggressiveness, what you want from a guy, I mean, I think it's a slam dunk. I think it's a home run. And I still would believe, I think this is the guy that Shane Beamer's trying to get. I think this is the guy that Shane Beamer's trying to get. Another big name I think about, Kendall Briles, the Arkansas offensive coordinator guy. And you just take a look at Arkansas and what they've done under Sam Pittman in year one and the type of offense they're running with Felipe Franks and stuff like that. And they've quietly scored some points. I mean, they really have scored some points. Again, I think you're going to see yet again, he's going to use a dual threat quarterback, up tempo, very aggressive style offense. So again, I think that would be another really good hire for South Carolina and Shane Beamer. These last two are a little more off the wall, a little more fun. You guys take it for what it's worth, but I'm going to go G.A. Mangus for my third guy. G.A. Mangus, I think, is a guy that, I don't know. I did really, really good things at South Carolina. You talked to a lot of the former players, and maybe I'm letting the former players just get in my head a little bit too much, but I think GA, a guy, would he want to come back? Would he even be open to it? Obviously, GA and Shane Beamer, they have that relationship. Why not? And then my final one's more of a fun one. I had to throw his name in here, but hey, why not Eric Kimry, head coach at Hammond, Give Coach Kimry a shot. Maybe not as the OC. Bring him on as an offensive analyst, though, as a position coach, whatever it is. Eric Kimry doing fantastic things at Hammond. But really, I think this comes down to those top two guys. Like, I've heard some other names as well, but I think it's going to – the first two guys will have to say no to South Carolina. That is Garrett Riley and Kendall Browse. I think out of those two guys, and again, Garrett Riley, for me, that's the name I've heard from the jump, and that's the name I'm probably going to stick with as I think the leader in the clubhouse for South Carolina, Garrett Riley, which would make sense as to why they have not announced it yet, because Garrett Riley is coaching SMU right now. Like, that would make sense as to why they have not announced it. So let's move to the defensive coordinators. And I think the picture with this one is maybe a little more clear when it comes to candidates as a whole. I'm going to start with a guy, again, like I said, guys, from the beginning, that I heard was the primary guy they were targeting and they want, and that is Barry Odom. Barry Odom, the defensive coordinator, Arkansas, actually, ironically enough, and he was the former Missouri head coach. I think this would be an excellent hire for South Carolina. All right, yeah, I think this would be an excellent hire. Barry Odom, a really, really good defensive-minded coach, a guy that I think would do wonders for South Carolina on the defensive side, very aggressive, loves to blitz. I love that aggressive nature. I think he would fit in well, but I think Barry Odom, again, from everything I've heard, is a guy they are targeting. That is the leader in the clubhouse in my mind on the defensive side. Now, behind him, a name that's been tossed around a lot, Jay Bateman, defensive coordinator at North Carolina, and obviously they've done really good things. I think that would be a really good hire. Derek Mason, former Vanderbilt head coach. Why not? Maybe so. I think Derek Mason could be a good fit. Listen, winning at Vandy's hard. Winning at Vandy's damn near impossible. Winning at Vandy is damn near impossible. Okay? So, but I think he's a damn good defensive-minded coach. Somebody's going to get a really good DC when they hire Derek Mason. And then finally, probably not going to happen, but this one's fun to talk about. Third and long, Charlie Strong. I mean, was it South Carolina in the early 2000s? Did good work with them. Obviously bounced around being a head coach at Texas and South Florida and all that. I think you could do much worse than Charlie Strong. So, again, that's kind of my thoughts on OC, DC. But, again, guys, I'm not going to go into great lengths and long details and talk your ear off for 45 minutes about these guys because nobody knows at this point. But my leaders in the clubhouse right now, and who I'd love to see, I think Garrett Riley is OC and Barry Odom is DC. Also for DC, I didn't mention Bud Foster as well. That's been a name that's been tossed around. Obviously, the defensive coordinator that coached under his father, Frank Beamer, at Virginia Tech. I think that could be an interesting hire. But if you could get Garrett Riley and Barry Odom, I think that would be an excellent staff for Shane Beamer and company. So that's just my thoughts on that. Again, hopefully in the next 24, 48, 72 hours, we'll start to hear something, especially with the early signing period and all that coming up. Hopefully, we start to find out something a little more concrete. But for right now, I think those are the leaders in the clubhouse. Garrett Riley for OC, Barry Odom for DC. And again, I think that would be an all-star staff for South Carolina. All right, let's move into SEC gambling picks. Let's talk gambling, guys. Obviously, again, like I said in the intro, we're moving it up this week because the early signing day is tomorrow. So I will spend the entire show tomorrow breaking down signing day, giving my thoughts, projections, who South Carolina is going to sign, what have you, where they might finish. So I figured I'd rather let that be the focus of tomorrow's show. So let's move up, though. The SEC gambling picks is we got a good slate of games. We got 5 games, and that includes the SEC championship. Had a solid week last week, 3-2 last week. Hey, we're back to having a winning record, 33-32 overall. After all that, after some of the terrible weeks I've had, we have a winning record yet again, guys. So again, SEC gambling picks, and they're presented to you by our friends over at MyBookie. Guys, with the Christmas holiday right around the corner, MyBookie's been in a giving mood. A $250 risk-free bet on Thanksgiving, boosted odds and free bets every hour of Black Friday, and they continue to give away more freebies for Cyber Monday. For a sportsbook that's supposed to be in the business of making money, they were giving it away. That's just one of the reasons why I've been rolling with MyBookie this season. Guys, the fact is this. If you're going to put some action on the games, whether you're betting NFL, NCAA, college football, or college hoops, whatever your preference, you want to do it with a reputable brand like MyBookie. Make your deposit using the promo code Gamecocks, and they'll match you halfway to give you a head start on building your bankroll. Put in $200, get an extra $100 to play with. Joining and depositing is a simple process, and it's quick. But more importantly, when it's time to get paid, that's quick too. Treat yourself with some extra cash in your pocket this holiday season by investing in your intuition. Guys, it's not just winter season, it's winning season. So bet, win, and get paid with my bookie. All right, let's start in Knoxville. Vols coming off a big-time rivalry win over the Vanderbilt Commodores. Texas A&M traveling there to take on UT. A&M a 14-point favorite. Over-under set at 51.5. Listen, I know Tennessee got a nice win last week, but A&M was on a mission. They're trying to make the college football playoff. Obviously, this weekend is going to be a big determining factor in that. We already saw Florida kind of blow their shot, losing to LSU last weekend. I think A&M needs to win and needs to win with style points, and I think they'll do so. I've got the Aggies beating Tennessee by more than 2 touchdowns. A&M minus 14 is the bet here. A&M minus 14. They will roll over Jeremy Pruitt's squad, trying to put an exclamation point on their case to get in the playoff. Let's move to Vandy at Georgia. Between the hedges, Georgia a 40-point favorite in this one. Over under set at 53.5. Don't touch the line. That's a ridiculous line. 40 points. Georgia might cover it, though. Vandy is terrible, but under 53.5 is like free money in this game. I mean, Georgia is going to absolutely dominate Vanderbilt offensively. I don't see Vandy probably scoring a point in this game, and Georgia will cruise to a victory. I mean, they have nothing to prove, obviously. They're not trying to get in the playoff. There's no need for them to try to embarrass Vanderbilt. Under 53.5 is the easy play in my mind. Missouri at Mississippi State. Mizzou a 1-point favorite. Over under set at 49.5, guys. It's crazy how good of a season Eli Drinkwitz has had in his first season in Como. Obviously going on the road to Stark Vegas, to Starkville. I like Mizzou in this one, man. I'm riding Eli Drinkwitz in Missouri. I like what they're doing. -1 on the road. Take the Tigers to cover in their season. Now, Ole Miss at LSU. The team of the weekend last weekend. LSU getting that big win over Florida. They're a 4-point favorite. Over under set at 74.5. Don't buy into the LSU hype, guys. LSU still stinks. LSU still has issues. And I'm not saying Ole Miss is world beaters either, but Ole Miss will light that LSU defense up. Ole Miss +4 is stealing. I love Ole Miss money line personally, but take Ole Miss +4 in this game. LSU don't believe in the hype just because they won one game against Florida. I think that was more an indictment on Florida dropping the ball versus LSU all of a sudden has figured it out and is this great team. I love the Rebels +4 in this game. Then finally, the SEC Championship, which, man, this game lost some luster because of Florida's lost LSU. But Alabama taking on the Florida Gators. Bama a 16-point favorite. Over under set at 73.5. Guys, this bet, you could have given me this weeks ago, months ago, and I would have told you it's the best bet for this one. Over 73.5. There will be points and points and points and more points, and nobody's going to stop anybody. This is going to be probably one of the more fun SEC championships we've ever watched. But over 73.5, the easy play in this game. I mean, by far the easy play. Take the over 73.5 points all over the place in the SEC title. So, again, that's going to do it all for the SEC gambling picks, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. One quick thing really quickly. News and notes. Like I already said in the beginning, South Carolina Clemson basketball postponed for this weekend due to COVID issues. I think South Carolina's next game is supposed to be next Wednesday against South Carolina State, I believe. We'll see what happens there. But South Carolina basketball right now, obviously, just dealing with a ton of issues. Just dealing with a ton of issues. Who knows when they get back on the floor? COVID 2020 strikes again. Also, one other quick thing. On the football side of things, Shiloh Sanders has officially entered his name into the transfer portal. And, guys, this is not surprising at all. Obviously, with his dad taking the job at Jackson State and everything going on there, I think it was inevitable this was going to happen. And I was told this actually weeks ago that Shiloh Sanders will be entering the transfer portal, but it's made official on Monday afternoon. It's confirmed he is in the portal. I do not think he will be the last member of the Gamecocks secondary specifically to enter the portal, and that's all I'm going to say on that note. But again, appreciate you guys tuning in, guys. Great show today. Like I said, stay tuned tomorrow. Obviously, early signing day. We will have a ton of coverage on social media, here on the podcast, all that good stuff. Very excited for the early signing day. Shane Beamer trying to patch together a class and figure it out, but I'll have all that coverage for you guys and kind of a signing day preview, if you will, on tomorrow's show. But guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
kinds of bacon and all kinds of delicious. Say hello to Donato's new Bacon Duo pizzas. 2 pizzas, each with 2 kinds of bacon. Try the new Pepperoni Bacon Duo with pepperoni, Canadian bacon, and hardwood smoked bacon. And the Chipotle Bacon Duo with Canadian bacon and Chipotle seasoned bacon. Now get $2 off a large Bacon Duo or any large pizza. Use promo code 2. Donato's. Every piece is important.
Who are you texting?
My therapist.
You text with your therapist?
Text, video chat, call. Yep.
That sounds too easy. How did you find her?
I just went to betterhelp.com/save. She's a licensed therapist and it's all online. I connect when it's convenient for me and don't waste time driving anywhere. Plus, it's affordable.
I wonder if I should try it.
It's great to talk to someone in confidence. She's helped me sort out quite a few things. And right now you save 10% off the first month when you go through betterhelp.com/save.
betterhelp.com/save. Got it.